Now, take a look at that. It is superb. This is Rampage in his Transmetal vehicle mode, and it's a tank. Or rather, it's an intermediary mode. It's basically the crab with tank treads, but unlike many of the intermediary modes, this just works. It works so very well. There is an... oh, I don't want to say it, it's too much of a pun. There is an X factor going on here with Protoform X. This vehicle just works beautifully. It looks coherent and solid, and it is. And also it looks very, very powerful indeed. Now, judging from the finished product, the transformation doesn't look that complex. It looks like all you've done is folded up the claws and folded up the legs and extruded these tank treads over the frame made from the legs. However, the transformation is subtle. It's deceptively complex, particularly the configuration of the claws. The claws are very difficult to get into the proper configuration. You'll know when you've done it because there are pegs and there are posts and ports down the side of his shell that clip the whole frame together and make it coherent. And I've seen many people review this guy on YouTube, and they tend to get that configuration dead wrong. They leave it loose for some reason, or these are too far down so it doesn't all peg together properly, or something to that effect. But once you do get it right, everything holds together beautifully, and it looks sensational. And as you can also see, his primary weapon, which is this beautiful Gatling cannon, swings round from the back and faces forward. And when you push him along the ground, not only do these real rubber tank treads actually move, which is a rarity amongst Transformers, I can tell you, but this Gatling cannon will go around and the missiles will fire. It is absolutely superb, this toy. And if you didn't like it as a result of the crab mode, then my god, this should sell you. This is another mode that I display him in quite a lot, simply because he looks so good and the transformation is so ingenious. If only they paid as much time to the Transmetal vehicle modes of the other Transmetal toys, then the line would have been one of the best in Transformers full stop. And also it's very fun to play with as well. The only thing I would say is that these tank treads, because they are rubber, they not only will they wear, but they have a nasty tendency to fray as well, so you want to be a bit careful of those. But even so, it's superb. This is one of the best tanks, one of the best tank modes of any Transformer from any line ever. It is amazing. Right then, onto his final mode, and arguably his most controversial, as the robot mode tends to divide opinion quite a lot. And you'll see why when I get to it. Now, there is Rampage in his robot mode, and you can sort of see why people are divided in their opinions of him. He is the crustacean king of kibble. There is kibble all over him. There are claws hanging off of his back. There are parts of the shell hanging off of his shoulders. There are crab legs everywhere. There are antennae on his chest. But somehow it works for him. To my eye, anyway, this works. There is something about the kibble that lends him a very, very particular aesthetic that is unique. Utterly unique amongst Transformers full stop, not just Beast Wars Transformers. And it works. I think it works primarily because of his status as the product of a failed experiment, as a mutant, monstrous mess of a creature. It's what he's supposed to be, and it's what he looks like. And it just works. It's beautiful. Now, one thing I will say is that the various extrusions and bits of kibble hanging off of him do make him somewhat difficult to pose, but you can get him into some stunning looking poses if you know how to put the kibble. Now I always like to put it in this configuration. This just works for me, but it's a matter of personal choice. You can put it however you wish, and there are ways you can sort of fold it out of the way as well if you want a more coherent looking robot mode. But I prefer him like this, with these legs scrabbling out of his arms and these pointing up. I think it works very, very, very well. Now, one thing I really love about this robot mode is the texture of this chitinous superstructure he has. Whereas the crab mode is somewhat robotic and metallic, the robot mode has this beautiful sculpted crab-like chitin on its body, ranging from a very, very deep red to a very, very bright orange. And not only is it very, very dense and solid, the texture is gorgeous. Really is beautiful, beautiful texture. He also has, I'm not sure whether you can pick it up on this camera, but one of the most distinct face sculpts of any Transformer. He really does look like the monster that he is. He does also have a tertiary weapon, some pathetic little piddling shotgun thing. And when he's carrying that, it looks pathetic. You really don't need it when he has that thing working for him. His articulation is excellent in this mode, it really is. It's somewhat hampered by all of the bits of kibble knocking about, but I can definitely forgive it that small flaw. This Transformer is one of my favourites. It's right up there amongst my top 10. And it's not everyone's favourite, it's certainly not to everyone's taste. I think people who dislike Beast Wars will find this quite appalling, as it does epitomise a great deal of the Beast Wars design aesthetic. But I like it a lot. And it's such an interesting figure, such an interesting character, that I think it warrants a place in any Transformers fans collection.